All right, so here's the solution. So in this file, we're going to copy this line that is the base URL for our request, and we're going to put it up here so that we can make it available to all of our methods inside our class. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a method. Now you can call your method whatever you want, but I'm going to call it request info, and I'm going to pass in a single parameter, that is the flower name that we got back from our classification model. It's going to be of data type string, and inside here I'm going to make my Alamofire request. So I've already imported Alamofire in Swifty.json, so I should be able to simply write Alamofire dot request, and this is almost the one that I want. So the URL I'm going to pass in, this is going to be that Wikipedia URL that we got up there. The method is of course a get method, and the parameters are going to be the parameters that we got from that text file earlier on. So if I just copy all of these parameters over, then I can paste it in here and I can pass it into here. So it's called parameters. Now I'm going to modify this template that I got from Alamofire a little bit. I want to get rid of the encoding and the headers, but instead I'm going to call the completion handler. So I'm going to write response JSON, and you can see that it suggested to me the one that I want, which is the completion handler. So I'm going to hit enter, then I'm going to select this placeholder and hit enter again. And the data I get back, I'm just going to call response. And then inside the closure, I'm going to check to see if the response was successful. So if response dot result dot is success, then I will print got the Wikipedia info. And finally, all we need to do is just to print the response into the debug console. All right, so we're almost done. One thing to remember is that we haven't actually called this method anywhere yet.
So I've just realized that our classification isn't actually protected against the cases where our flower classifier doesn't return any result. So let's be safe and use a guard statement to protect those situations.
So after we've gotten back our classification identifier, then we're going to pass this in as the flower name. So that is going to be the title that we're going to pass into the URL. So let's do that once we've successfully gotten back our result, and I'm going to call this method request info. So because we're inside a closure as denoted by the in keyword, then we're going to use self in front of all our method calls. So self.requestInfo, and the flower name is going to be classification.identifier. All right, cool. So that's done, and we're ready for a spin. And you can see down here we've got the Wikipedia info, success, and we've got all of this information back from Wikipedia, including that extract that we're after. All right, so well done if you managed to get here by yourself. If not, or if there's anything confusing, have a look back at the lessons where we covered Alamofire and HTTP requests. And if you're still stuck, then be sure to start a thread in the question and answer section, and we'll try and help you out. In the next lesson, we're going to go in and parse all of this JSON using Swifty.json so that we can grab out our extract and display it inside a label. So I'll see you there.